205-448-1358, the number to call in right now to let your voice be heard on the conversation that is Scott Cochran. We got our first call in the queue. You are live with your man, Stephen Smith, on a Monday. What's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, brother? Roll Tide, brother.
Roll Tide, what's going on with you?
Yeah, man, this C Proud, man.
How we doing?
Golly, man. Man, that's a hard pill to swallow that stuff, my buddy gone. That's a hard one to swallow there.
It's a hard pill to swallow, especially when you look at, Coach Cochran was one of the OGs. 13 years at the program, strength and conditioning, players love him. So this one's pretty painful.
Yeah, man, but we always find a way to whip around, man. We good at bridging, so we don't find a way, man. It just comes with the game, brother.
It comes with the game. Do you think? So I'm gonna ask you this: do you think Kirby Smart is really trying to say, "I'm gonna get Nick Saban this time" by pulling this move?
Oh yeah, I was just thinking that before I called in, Stephon. They really got it out for us, man. They really got it out for us, brother. Yeah, he gonna try to come for us this year.
Well, the one thing Kirby's got to do, man, is he's got to be able to develop his players. One thing Nick Saban does, Nick developed the players at Bama. Kirby at times can't develop.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But exactly, he's trying to come for us, man. But Nick Saban is the best, man. He don't even try to be. Nick Saban's the best, man. That's all I can say, Stephon. He's just the best, man. I put a lot of faith in Nick Saban, man.
We actually have a call in the queue right now. You are live on In My Own Words, the podcast with Stephen M. Smith. What's on your mind?
Hey, Stephen, it's L. Hey, I'm loving the show.
Appreciate it, man. What's on your mind?
I don't think this is such a huge loss. I mean, it is a loss, but I think strength and conditioning coaches, you go out and find a really good strength and conditioning coach, whether that's on staff or you go hire somebody. I'm looking at them kind of laughing at what Kirby Smart is trying to do. Special teams is 1/3. You can offense, defense, and special teams. And now you have a person coaching that's never coached special teams before.
Exactly. That's just what I mentioned. You don't know what Scott Cochran is going to do as an on-field coach because at Alabama he never served in that role. He never served in that capacity. So we don't know. Like, nobody knows. And going back to also strength and conditioning, Freddie Roach is on staff, and even Freddie Roach has got experience with strength and conditioning.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. So again, I think we'll be okay on the strength and conditioning front. Over time, with the injuries that we've been having, you mentioned the lower extremity injuries. It probably was time to make a change. So I actually think this is it's going to end up being a good thing. It may look painful right now, but I think it's actually going to end up being a good thing for the program.
Appreciate the call, man. Keep listening to us.
Thank you. Will do.
All right, we got another call in the queue. You are live on In My Own Words, the podcast. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. Just wondering, with Coach Saban saying that he did not have an on-the-field role for Scott Cochran, does that make him expendable? And if so, who does he go after now as the new strength and conditioning coach at the University of Alabama?
Well, Alabama did not have an on-field role for Scott Cochran. The special teams coach at Alabama is Jeff Banks. So right now with him moving to Georgia to work with Kirby Smart, there's a couple of names here that Alabama could actually go after. If you look at just the strength coaches, you can look at, do you want to poach a Chris Doyle from Iowa? There is Joey Batson out of Clemson, though I think you're not going to get Joey Batson out of Clemson. You've got Jerry Schmidt out of Texas A&M. So there's a couple of guys. You got Nick Savage out of Florida. Really like what Nick Savage has done. But there's also some guys actually inside the program right now. Tyler Owens, a young guy who was under Cochran the last few years, the players seem to really like Tyler. Owens, like I said, young guy, players love his energy, players love his style, his swagger. He tends to focus on more so of the lower body extremities, while Cochran did a lot of the upper body stuff. So, and on top of that, Owens knows the whole fourth quarter program that, Scott Cochran had. So we look at Tyler Owens. There's a Josh Chapman who's on staff doing strength and conditioning. Even Freddie Roach has some experience in that area. So Saban could look from within the program definitely to pull a guy or to bump up a guy.
The gentleman that you mentioned, Doyle, from Iowa, he is the highest paid strength and conditioning coach in the country. Obviously, he's gone to great lengths to produce with Iowa. They're not known for bringing in very top-tier talent, mediocre in the Big Ten, and they always seem to fill a very good product. So, obviously, I think that might be number one option per se. Has he worked with Saban in the past?
I'm gonna fact check that. I don't think Chris Doyle has, but definitely with Nick Saban being in the Big Ten at one point in time back in the mid to late 90s, probably their paths may have crossed, but I will definitely dive into some fact checking on that end. But if you could get a Chris Doyle, it would be huge. But knowing Coach Saban, he would definitely look from within the program first to see if anybody else could take that spot. But definitely appreciate the call, man, and keep listening to us. We got another call in queue, continuing the conversation on is Kirby Smart the threat, and also continuing with Scott Cochran's latest news here. You're live on In My Own Words, the podcast. What's on your mind tonight?
Man, bro, let me tell you like this, man. Kirby ain't no threat, and ain't anybody even tripping on no Scott Cochran. Also, let me tell you, I got a question for you, Steve. Do you think that Scott Cochran was more interested in being like a character? You know what I'm saying? Every time, I heard you earlier, you were talking about how he be like, yeah, run down the sideline and everything like that. You seem like as soon as he got some fame to him, I don't know if that took a distraction from him or anything like that. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, honestly, Alabama, the last few years, and if people recognized it, the last few years, Alabama was actually starting to move away from Scott Cochran, where in the early years you would hear the yeah inside the stadium. You would hear, it's the fourth quarter, get on your feet. You would hear it's third down. You would hear Scott Cochran at every single game. The last 3 to 4 years, though, Alabama has gone more so to playing more Dixieland Delight or playing more of Mr. Brightside or just doing other things, sort of phasing out Scott Cochran. So there were little small hints of, Cochran potentially being out the door, early on. It's just now it's really, really hit the fan, with this news. I wouldn't say the fame has got to him, possibly, but I wouldn't say that. I would just put it more so as the years have progressed, you have started to see Alabama kind of pull away from Scott Cochran in terms of the things that they had with him in terms of his presence inside the stadium and inside the program.
Well, they should have pulled away from him about a year or two ago. He got all our 4 legs falling off and everything like that. I mean, we can have 5 ACL, everybody ankle messed up, knees, kneecap falling on. I mean, how you going to be the strength and conditioning coach? You know what I'm saying? You can't even get folks lower leg strength down. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's the type of stuff that kind of had me upset. You got 5 folks out for the season. 2, he mess around and get hurt every year. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't what a strength and conditioning coach. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't have everybody on the team getting hurt. You feel me? So I mean, I like what he did for the program. You did. You know what I'm saying? But I'm cool with seeing some new blood coming. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what was going on with everything else, but we need somebody else that we can have our best players. You know what I'm saying? Just going down with knee problems every single year. You know what I'm saying? Legs just falling off left and right.
I agree with that, and it goes back to when you want to be the best, you got to evolve. You got to change some things. You got to make improvements, and Coach Cochran, as great as he was, got stuck in his mentality of, what I've been doing it for a long time. It's been working with me, so why change? But the great ones learn, the great ones evolve, the great ones find a way to change. But we appreciate that call.
I got one last thing. Hold up.
Go ahead.
Hey, what day the game next is the 19th?
8-day game is going to be, well, the game against Georgia will be September 19th.
We play Georgia.
September 19th.
Hey, when we see Kirby, and Scott Cochran, we gonna put them hands on him, on both of them, on everything.
Let's go then. Appreciate the call, man. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.